Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. This is the Own Your Career, the Career Fix. We are on week 6. And I know for those who are watching the replay, you didn't get a chance to go to the first, the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth. You're like, what are you talking about? Welcome back. This is my first time here. Well, welcome. I am Kay Allen Brownlee. I am the founder and owner of Career Snobs, and I have been taking so many folks through an amazing journey of what it takes to truly own your career and make it yours. And this week, it's pretty much like the final one. The next week, we're doing more of a Q&A type of form, so people have questions, they can bring it. But honestly, I've been at this literally since the beginning of the year, have really been going after it, and this one didn't disappoint as well. We had a lot of great folks on the call, and this is your recap. So without further ado, I'm going to get after it. Again, my name is Kay Allen Brownlee. This is the career fix you need, and small fixes lead to big transformations. And they do, right? I mean, they totally do. A lot of times we feel like we have to make these huge, amazing leaps in order to get somewhere, but sometimes it's those itty bitty steps that get us there. So, before I go through anything in each and every one of my sessions, I've always gone through the agenda. I like you to know what you're getting into. So, first, we'll go into a little bit about me. I try to switch it up every time because I've had a lot of folks who've actually come back a few times. Shout out to my folks who have. Thank you so much. And for those who are visiting me for the first time as well, I'm going to go into the introduction of the career fix that you need, common career mistakes keeping you stuck, how to identify your strengths, and then leveraging tools like DISC and career mapping in order to start flipping some things on their head. Okay, we'll go into a conclusion. No Q&A, no virtual networking, but I'll also give you some things in order for you to keep up with me in the future. Okay, you ready for it? Let's go. Let's talk about me. Kay Allen Brownlee. Hey, I'm so happy to be here with you all. Like I said, I am honestly a Fortune 20 exec turned career advocate. It's not to say I'm never going back. Not to say I'm done with corporate. I love corporate. I know people, they gasp when they hear me say that, but I do. I love fixing things on a bigger level. I love the pay. I love working with amazing teams. Though I love having my own business career stops, I do miss the groups. I do miss the teams. So as career stops continues to grow, that's one thing. But for now, I love corporate. So I'm not just speaking in terms of I left a couple years ago or I'm never going back. I'm talking in terms of how you can really apply your career and own it right now, whether you're an organization, a nonprofit, a corporation, whatever it may be. I believe that career training should be accessible for everyone and affordable. And so I have different options when it comes down to it. So I do these. I do these because they're free. I want you to at least have a base level of if you are in the right spot, if you're owning your career. Because once you realize you could grow in some areas, you can leverage me, you can leverage other people. It's not just about me, but you have to set a foundation to the help that you need before you just go out there and get it. Because sometimes we go and seek things and it's so far away from where we are. Like we literally probably needed to take that course, right? We literally probably needed to talk to somebody first instead of just going all in. And so that's what these trainings are all about. I am not new to this industry at all. When I say industry, human resources, training, talent development, talent management, I'm not new to this at all. I have been doing this for a very long time. I've worked with some of the best teams in the industry to source, recruit over 20,000 hires, team-based individuals, you name it, different departments. And so I can honestly say and speak on different things. And folks have seen that in our talks where somebody from IT or somebody who had an interest in the arts, they've said something and I've been able to give them some solid career advice, because once you think of any career and you think about the foundation of it, it becomes easier. It can apply to anything, but you do have to approach your career no matter what industry you're in a particular fashion. Okay, so no fluff, no gatekeeping. As you see, I am pretty casual. I like to have fun. I don't make it super serious because there should be a place where you don't have to always be super serious. And that's what this is. And just know that I want true career training that ends in results. I want to make sure that you get where you need to get. And that's what this is. All right. I start off the talk with some type of quote. Today, it is your career doesn't need a reset, it needs a strategy. Ooh, yikes. And the analogy I gave as I was talking through with the group, I said, think about a video game or think about period. We always say, I want to reset. It's a new year, new me, and we go into the new year just saying, oh, it's new. So I have a new building platform found, like I don't have to worry about any of that other stuff before I can just start brand new. And that is not true. There goes one of my rhyming moments for those of you who's been to a couple of these. It needs a strategy. You need to start really thinking through what you want, how you want it to apply to your life, and how you're going to make that help you get to the next part of your life. So just keep that in mind. Resets are cool. It's not to say that you can't reset, but you do need a strategy. And that's what we're going to get into today. So the introduction, the career fix you need. If your career feels stuck, stale, like you're just spinning wheels, you're not alone. There were probably about 20 folks felt the same exact way, right? Just know that we all get frustrated. We've all felt like we were just tolerated and not celebrated. It's so many things that go through our heads when we're in this landscape of work. But just know that you don't need a complete career overhaul. You just need a strategy that works. Not just any strategy, but one that works for you. So just know that this session in particular is about fixing what's holding you back, identifying your strengths, and using those tools to build a career that actually moves you forward. Okay? As I always like to say, let's go. Let's get after it. Okay, so the first thing, the common career mistakes keeping professionals stuck. 3 things that I've seen. The first is waiting for opportunities instead of creating them. The second is focusing on task and not impact. And then the third is ignoring career development. Let's go into the first one really quick. If you're waiting to be noticed, you're already behind. So true. The most successful professionals go after what they want. And honestly, they do not ask for permission. So what I mean by this is not saying clearly you need permission to get a promotion. Clearly you need, some type of permission in order to get a raise or to go to a lateral move or whatever it is. You need permission, but you don't need permission to act in excellence and act as if you're already in it. And so just know about this. You should be creating them. You should be creating your next opportunities. I always like to tell folks my last 3 or 4 positions I had in corporate before I left to start career stops, they were all created. None of them existed when I came into the company. And so what I try to tell folks is don't let the environment structure or give you a time limit to your growth. Start creating things that truly allow you to have impact, which is going to the next thing, to where they want to keep you interested and allow you to grow something that's never been done before. Second, focusing on task and not impact. Your value isn't how much you work or how much work you do. It's in the results you create. Shift from execution mode to strategic thinking. This is a huge thing, especially for my individual contributors, those who may not have a team just yet, or my managers who are up and coming. Start thinking more in terms of impact. Don't just think about the work that you have to do and being super fantastic at it. How are you impacting the department? How are you impacting the division? How are you impacting the region? How are you impacting the company? Start thinking in bigger terms, because when you think bigger, you expand just doing the work and being done with it to really having a huge impact. And then the third, which is a huge mistake that I watch all people make, whether they're successful or not, let me say that, is ignoring career development. They're like, I'm good. I don't need to do anything. I'm solid. I'm growing. I get a promotion every 4 to 5 years. That is probably one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, because at any given time, as hot as you think you are, you may not be, right? And so this is, to me, the equivalent of making sure you upskill yourself, making sure that you are in the know, knowing what your industry is doing, knowing how it's growing. You want to always make sure, in addition to that, you're networking and positioning yourself within your market, within your industry, to make sure that you do not stay stuck. Okay? Because if you do get stuck, sometimes it's very hard to pull out of it. You can and you will, but why? You should always, in the world that we're in with AI and all of this technology, you should totally be aware of what your industry is doing, who the major players are, and how you can stay in it or grow within it. So just keep those things in mind. All right. So now that we know some of the things that have kept folks stuck, how can we identify your strengths and align them with your goals? We talked about it in the last one, that really identifying your strengths is a huge thing. So 3 pieces in this is look at what energizes you. When I explained this during the talk, my main thing was to say, in my case, for instance, I worked in something completely different for a while. My undergrad is biology. I thought I loved it. I thought I wanted to be a pharmacist. That was a no for me, because once I started working in it, I didn't enjoy it. Right. And so I knew I had to do something else. And so I started exploring, and then somehow somebody recruited me into recruiting, and then that was it. Right. I fell in love, and that was it. But it energizes me. As you can see, I do these things on Saturdays, like Saturday mornings at 11, right? I could be taking walks, running, doing whatever, but I know there's a need for this. And I know because people from different countries and all over the world at 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, they're watching this. And so the least thing I can do is spend 1 hour on a Saturday giving my time to help folks who may not otherwise be able to get it. So just keep that in mind, that, make sure you're doing something you like. And if you hate it, I always tell folks, if you just can't despise something, it is really time to start thinking about a pivot of some sort. But you want to do pivots right. You don't want to just run into stuff. You want to do it right. So keep that in mind. Ask for outside insight, but from insiders. I should have put that too. But I did in a sense, but I should have put it better. It says other people see your strengths on what we overlook. These are people in your industry. These are people who understand what you're going through. Get feedback from mentors, colleagues, and peers. You notice I didn't put friends. You notice I didn't put family. I'm not saying that you can't, but you best believe if they have not gone what you have gone through, and they have not attempted what you're attempting, and they do not have your ambition, they will talk you out of your blessing, out of your dream, out of your next steps. And so just keep that in mind, that any outside insight you get should be from an insider who has done it before, who has walked in your shoes, or is currently doing it with you. Because if not, you can easily be swept from something that you love and could really do awesome at, because they lack the faith and confidence in themselves. Therefore they transpose those emotions to you. Okay. And the third is align strengths with strategy. I'm always going to talk about strategy. It's one of the biggest things I talk about all the time. Remember I said, you don't need a reset. You need a strategy. Thinking about just having strengths, it's just not enough. It's not just good to be great at something. How do you apply it? How do you use it? How do you use it in order to serve others? Think about that. So you want to think about using your strengths intentionally, positioning yourself for the opportunities you want, opportunities that can help other people. That's how you start to really become not just the person who is receiving everything, but also the one that is giving. All right, we're getting through this. I always say I like to get through these because you do have the deck and you guys can go through it. But the third is leveraging tools like DISC and career mapping for sustainable growth. If you have not been on my calls, I send this out every single time. I say I have a free career map. It'll be on the next 2 or 3 slides. You can download it. You can get it for free. Anybody who has really rolled with me for the last 6 weeks will realize I don't bother you with 1,000 emails. I don't do any of that. I don't do that because I believe that when you're ready for career training, you'll come get it. And it may be not the best on my part, but to me, I don't want to drag people along. I want to go arm to arm and make sure that we walk together in this. And I can't do that if I'm always convincing you to invest in yourself. So just keep that in mind. So when you think about leveraging tools like DISC and career mapping, please, 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 if you haven't mapped out your career, if you don't know where you're going next, please consider just getting it for free and filling it out. And if you can't fill that thing out, or if you haven't done that before, that's when you know it's time for you to go to the next step as far as what your career looks like. So DISC is pretty much like a personal assessment that I use in particular. There's different ones though. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of Myers-Briggs, or you've heard of Berkman and Fascinate. There's so many different ones that really tell your personality. I like DISC because it really goes into the personalities that are innately ours, like something that we're truly have grown into based on how we were raised and the way that we behave at work. DISC is either D, direct, I is influencing, S is steady, and C is compliant. Those 4 personalities make up our workforce. And if you don't understand each other, it can truly harbor how you respond to your peers, how you respond to your leaders. And it just gives you a better idea of who you are. It allows you to know your style and get an edge when it comes to leadership, communication, and decision making. So I always throw that out. Anybody I work with, doesn't matter. Even when I used to just do resumes, I had to get their disc because I needed to know how they talked. If I'm an I, so I'm very influential, like to talk, extroverted. But if they were a C and they were more reserved and more about the facts, and then I would have to write a resume that really reflected their style, so they can properly say and feel comfortable with what was in front of them. So just know that's a big piece. Career mapping, I said this already. It gives you clear direction. If you haven't done it before, please do it. I don't want to keep going over that because it becomes, for anybody, I would say career coach, anybody who's worked in it, you know how hard it could be. Like if you can't figure out what you're going to do for the next 5 years, you need to have a talk with someone. And then growth happens when you apply what you know. Insight without action is useless. Use the tools to make bold strategic moves. You always have to grow. I tell folks everything on our body pretty much grows without our permission. Hair, unless it stops eventually, but it may grow in other places. Nails, our skin sheds, our organs are constantly, like, there's so much that's happening, right? So why not apply that to our brain? And so just make sure that you're always keeping up with whatever you need to in order to stay ahead of the game. All right, we are getting close. Conclusions. Point one, your career won't fix itself. I think you know this, right? you you being on here, you listening to this, I told everybody, is a huge step. So don't allow for some of the stuff that's said to negate the fact that you're on there, you're looking at this, you're spending your quality time to do it. Just keep that in mind, that your career won't fix itself though. So just make sure you take charge of it. You're intentional. You create your own opportunities. Second, your strengths are your biggest asset. Don't downplay them. Don't let anybody else downplay them. Align them with your goals. Use them to stand out. Use them as this beautiful armor to get to the places you need to get. And then point three, strategy beats effort every time. It does. I dare somebody to attempt or dare to say, no, it doesn't. Effort you can put in, you can run really fast. But if you notice, most fast speed track or anything that football, whatever it may be, they all have coaches. And the point is to have a strategy to help them go faster, to not put us wear and tear on their body. And that's with everything. So why not have a strategy? You can throw in the effort. You can stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning working every day. You could, but why? Have a strategy so you can spend time with your family. Have a strategy so you can really let loose and go out with your friends. Have a strategy. Oh my gosh, this is it, yes. All right, so one more event. This is Unfiltered and On Point Q&A. This is this Saturday. Based on how many folks come on, I'm not doing any presentations. I am just getting on the line and we're going to just have a great time. Ask any questions that you have regarding talent, HR, getting hired, frustrated about the economy, whatever it is, my course, my coaching, whatever. I'm totally here for it all. So just get ready for that. And I know you're like, where is this map, Kay? It's right here. If you take let me just take a picture. If you hover your phone over the scan, you can do it. It's a QR code. So make sure you do that. It will take you to my website and Stand Store. It's really like more of a condensed thing where you can go on, you can get your free career map, the Career Fix, Career Stops YouTube channel. If you want to watch 1 through 5, Career Stops events, everything is on Eventbrite. I'll put some more things up in the future. I think I'm going to do a rollout of my course where for 6 weeks, with those who purchase the course, I'm going to do in person with them and we'll go over together. I think I may do that. Yeah. And then Power Moves newsletter. That is something I'm supposed to have a new version this week too. I pretty much do it like every 2 to 3 weeks. I don't like to bombard people with newsletter because honestly, everybody has them, but I do like them enough because folks have an opportunity to really engage and see me in a different light. All of this is on LinkedIn. And then, of course, my products and services, $99 career course. Everything I do in my coaching practice, I have bundled up into the career course, and that disc is included in that. So just keep that in mind. The OYC coaching experience, I do not just allow people to sign up. I do have to talk to you. We do have to make sure that we are a great fit together. So yeah, you can just schedule a call and we'll get you on the books. That is pretty much it. No Q&A, no virtual networking, but a huge, wonderful thank you to you all. For those who are your first time, welcome. For those of you who have been rolling with me week after week, thank you so much. I'm honored, I'm thankful, and I am just feel so privileged to be able to serve you all in this way. I hope you have a magnificent week. You'll be getting this soon. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out. And I'm on LinkedIn, so make sure that you link up with me. My LinkedIn name is K. Allen Brownlee. I took a break from posting for a little bit. I might get back into it starting this week, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. This will be the last recap you get from me. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and the rest of an amazing quarter, because I probably won't do anything into Q2. All right. Thank you so much. Check out Career Stops. It's been my honor. See you later. Bye.